This is Hunter Way at the Athletes Lounge podcast. And I'm here with my guest.
This is Larry A. Stepter.
So coach, I guess give us a little bit about yourself and I guess what you do, with your I guess in your basketball life.
I've been a basketball coach at the middle school level, high school, collegiate level, and now professional level for the last 15 years. And I've had the opportunity to work with really the best of the best. Work in the TBL, which is the number three pro league in the whole world. That's right under the NBA and the G League, and work with other lower level minor leagues around the United States.
And I guess within that scope, what's your favorite thing you got to do so far?
The favorite thing I've got to do so far was work with USA Select, which is another avenue to get players overseas, get them signed, get them scouted, get a chance to work with them, and work with really high profile Division One and overseas players. So that's really fun. Um, the most important thing in that is being able to actually. I have my own two minor league programs that I run here in Memphis, Tennessee, that I've been able to build and establish from the ground up, and really see that seed grow for the last 10 years. It's been 10 years now. So being able to see guys um, achieve their goals, seeing guys improve, using it as a definitely an avenue of success.
And those would be the Memphis Lions and the Hub City Cyclones, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And so I guess tell us about a little bit what you do with those and I guess tell us like the type of level of competition I guess you could expect to see if you come see a game.
Well, I'm the head men's basketball coach and the general manager of both teams. We started with the Lions in 2013, around November, December 2013. So my role is recruiting and identification of players, conducting practices, coordinating travel, coordinating basketball operations. So kind of all hands on deck with that. And we've been able to achieve success. We started out playing in the ABA, the American Basketball Association, with Joe Newman, and we were able to um, achieve a record. We actually scored the most points ever in a pro basketball game. We scored 228 points in a game. And that was like in 2015. And then we later went on to win um, three other national minor league championships, and had three undefeated seasons in a row. So the thing with that is, we averaged at practice, we averaged about in those times, we averaged about, I would say, probably about 35 to 40 guys at practice 3 times a week. And, you only could have 15 guys on a roster. So our idea for creating a second team was really a need.
Yeah.
And so we were able to put those overflux of guys that lived here in Memphis, because originally our Hub City team was mainly based for guys that's on the outskirts of Memphis. And so we were able to take those overflux of guys and create our second team with that. And really both of them are competitive. Like both teams are nationally ranked. As far as competition, at that time, there was no TBL.
Yeah.
So the TBL now, of course, is the number three league in the whole United States, right under the NBA and the G League. But at that time, you could say respectfully that it was NBA, G League, and ABA.
Yeah.
So competition level was definitely high. A lot of guys, transitioned throughout the season on other teams to go overseas and international. They got other opportunities. We had players that transitioned throughout the season to go. Names Terrio Tomlin is one. Anthony Jones is another that played. Also, Kwame Gredick, also known as KG. KG, all three of those guys. Donterion Wright. Just to name a few that played under our umbrella. They were able to transition while we were playing in those other minor leagues.
You played a little bit of college basketball yourself, didn't you?
Yes, sir. A little bit.
I guess what tell us what that was like because you went to a NAIA school, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if I could speak English, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I attended the Philander Smith College in Little Rock, Arkansas. NAIA at that time, this was one of those historical Black
Yeah.
institutions. But man, I had so much fun. Like I was at a point in my career to where I was starting to peak athletically, and I knew I wasn't going to be at this peak for too long. So this is something that I needed to get off of my list
Yeah.
of things to do in life. And we was able to have some success there. Myself and some other young men that was recruited under Coach James Johnson. We were able to have some success there that took us all the way to our conference championship.
Yeah, I'm sure that
That
was
really got my start because really Coach Johnson was my athletic director. He was also the head men's basketball coach, and he also he was a full-time instructor in our physical education department. So really, he gave me my initial start in coaching and with athletics. And and he's always he's really a good really a great mentor because there's really someone that I lean on. When I need assistance, when I need help with something, he's always a good resource. And so he really gave me my start with college basketball, working under him, working with film exchange and working within the athletic department with him. It set me up later on when I became an athletic director myself. And, other roles I've had as general manager and, head men's basketball coach and being a scout and being all those things, it really gave me my start to really get to where I am now.
where how early on did you know you wanted to be involved in basketball?
A basketball player or basketball coach?
And I guess
And
where did your interest in basketball start?
my dad, Larry Senior, he was also a basketball coach. He was also a physical education teacher. And my mom was involved in sports as well. My whole family's been involved in sports. Basketball, I really got my love. Really just watching really Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Really Michael Jordan was really an inspiration to me. But so you gotta be careful watching Michael Jordan because Michael could do things that the average man cannot do. So you gotta kind of get in where you fit in. If Michael Jordan is your inspiration for want to be a basketball player, so you got to change. And I really learned how to play by myself.
Yeah.
My stepdad and I would we would go out to the park on the weekends. And I'm talking about we would get up about maybe 5, 6 in the morning, and we would be at the park, and we would just be, we were just doing workouts with him like one-on-one. And so that really sparked my interest. And then, he made sure I watched basketball. But when I watched it, I didn't watch it. I watched it carefully. I wanted
Yeah,
to know exactly what was going on, and that really, because I look at basketball as being in 2 and 3 different dimensions. So when I watched basketball, even then, that's where I kind of knew coaching would probably be something I would get into because I could watch things and watch the spacing, watching how guys cut to the basketball, watching all the little small trinkets that go into movement and spacing.
yeah,
And so that's really where I kind of got I had the eye um, at an early age as far as watching the basketball, as far as watching the game. And basketball to me is in 3 dimensions. So I saw basketball in 3 dimensions. Most people just see 2D. I saw it in 3. So I'm looking at at really the whole picture of it. So
yeah.
that really drove my interest in the game itself.
So what you're saying there, that's interesting because I think people are like this with sports. They just when people watch the sport casually, what you mean is you could see like I'm going to use this as an example. I'm just going to throw out a couple when like uh they'll take Jalen Brunson on the Knicks. Like when Mitchell Robinson sets him a screen and then Mitchell Robinson rolls, you could see where the pass is going to be before the average person sees Mitchell Robinson just dunking. You could see that Brunson's going to lob this or dump this off, and Robinson's going to get the
Yes.
dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean because I did that. I watch. I'm a big NBA fan. When you watch with your people, they just see, oh, the big guy dunked it when he got a pass. Well, no, the big guy set a pick. Brunson drew a double team and he dumped it off, and then the big guy just got to jump up and cram it in there. The the
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and you can, if you watch enough basketball, you can see it. You can see how the space, the swinging it one pass away, and the defense can't react, and you can see the where the open shot's going to be. Yeah,
Well, I mean, one thing about me is I'm big on fundamentals. So
yeah,
I'm really big on just the basic fundamentals of basketball. So I just think, I think all the great players all mastered the fundamentals first. So that really drove my play style because I don't do anything fancy on the court. I never did. I
yeah,
never did anything fancy as a player. It was basic things, a lot of intangible things, and a lot of tangible things. You know, number one is being a great teammate. I was always a great teammate, and was always the type of guy that was really all in for the team, like whatever I needed to do to help us win. So whether that was on the court or off the court, so I was always really a great team player.
So tell us about TBL and your, I guess, experience in TBL. Your, what you've been up to and things like that within the basketball league.
Okay, well, let's rewind. Let's go back
Yep.
to about 2018. 2018 was the first time that I met Mr. Magley, and I came to him via social media, just basically asking questions. At that time, the league hadn't been named TBL yet. It was still the North American Basketball League,
Yeah.
uh, Basketball Association. So it was still that. And so when he changed the name to TBL, that's when he started to expand nationwide and recruit other teams to join the league. And Memphis was a stop when he first started to look for players. And so I met him in 2018, and he came and we met. And actually, that's when he gave me the shirt.
Yeah.
um, and he gave me a basketball. He gave me a whole bunch of gear. And so I met him there. And so I've been able to now I assisted him with running his combine once I figured out his formula and how he likes everything red. So I did that with him, and I've helped um, send guys his way, help
Yeah.
him identify players that I think is good enough to play in his league. And I've had guys that were playing for me at the time that got invites, that were good enough to get invites to teams that played in his league. And so that took me from 18, then 2019, there was a team that was being established in Little Rock, Arkansas. So I felt, oh, well, if the team is there, I've got to do whatever I can to be a part of that team, since it's in Little Rock, where I grew up and, went to college at. So that team was Little Rock Lightning. And so I got connected with Jashawn and Maya Blackman, who are the owners. And I started hosting combines for them to help them identify players, to help their basketball team. And eventually I was able to move into a coaching role with them as well. And 2020 was nothing but combines with Mr. Mackley. I was literally all over the country with him every weekend, running in and out, doing combines with him, running combines in Houston, Atlanta, Dallas, Memphis again, Cleveland, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Charlotte, North Carolina. So 20 was all nothing but combines with Mr. Mackley. And one cool thing about his league is just about all of the players that go to training camp and eventually get picked up on the final roster are all guys that came through the combines. So I had the opportunity. I basically coached every player that ever made a TBL team. I've coached all of them, just about.
Yeah.
And these are guys. And the thing about these combines is, you have guys that really that don't know exactly what it is, that really don't understand the level of competition. You have guys that are really bad, and you have guys that are really good. And you can have a mixture. So the thing is, he really started his league as a showcase league to not only showcase players, but to showcase other people that work in basketball operations that may be seeking opportunities to go to the next level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just players. There's coaches that definitely get opportunities to go to the next level. And next level would be G League, NBA, or to a high level international organization. So it's a showcase league for really the whole basketball staff, even down to the owners. They get opportunities to get stakes and ownerships in other teams that's national. So it's a showcase league. So there's always and now since the league is really established at this point, there's really a high turnover rate. Like throughout the season, there's constantly players leaving, coaches leaving, general managers leaving, basketball operations staff leaving to get better opportunity because it is a showcase league. So I had opportunity to really be with him and be with other teams, and and coach with the Little Rock Lightning as well.
Because of I had a question and it just stumbled. Oh, there it goes. There I have it. So what's the best, without making anyone mad, what's the best city you think that you went for the combines talent-wise?
Oh, talent-wise, the best city, and this is without being biased, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're gonna say Memphis, right?
Well, I love my city. I love my city. But if we're looking at numbers and talent, I would have to go with Houston, Texas.
Dang, I wanted Dallas. I'm from Dallas, so yeah.
And listen, my number 2 would be Cleveland, Ohio.
Really? Okay, I thought it was gonna be Chicago just because of people, but no.
Well, here's the thing about Chicago. Chicago has a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of basketball that goes on in Chicago. and because Chicago is such an established basketball city, it may be a little tough to really bring those guys in.
Yeah.
Chicago is so big. You got basketball on just about every block
Yeah.
in Chicago. But Houston was big. Houston was big. Cincinnati, like I said, Cincinnati. I'm sorry, Cleveland. Did I say Cleveland or Cincinnati?
Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland was big. Cleveland was huge. Cleveland and Houston was huge as far as numbers, and not just numbers, but talent wise.
What's the breakdown in the TBL of guys that went to D2, D3, D1? What's like where did most of them come from? You think you don't have like a sheet in front of you that updates instantly, but
I would say, just my honest opinion, in the very beginning, it was probably those D2, D3s, the mid-major D1s.
yeah,
Now that the league is a paid league, it's a paid league. Now I would say that most of the talent now would be those D1s, strong D1s, and those powerhouse D2s.
the reason I asked those is because Cleveland has a lot of, or not Cleveland, but Ohio has a lot of Division I basketball schools.
Yes, it
There's
does.
a lot of them in Ohio. So I was wondering if that's one reason maybe Cleveland has such a good, combines, because so many, there's a lot of D1 schools in Ohio.
Well, that is true, and I would say also because Ohio is so close to Indiana.
Yeah.
Mr. Magley and his family, they live in Indiana. Magley is he's a Mr. Basketball from Indiana. So
He
I
lives
believe
just north of me right now. Yeah.
it's north. So a lot of those guys are pulled there because of reputation.
Yeah.
And basketball is really strong in that region of the country.
Yeah.
And the TBL, they do a great job with marketing and promoting as well. Because even here in Memphis, I promoted combines even in Memphis, Tennessee, and I was able to get people, really off people to show up off basis of things that I've done, things that people have saw me accomplish in the past. So I'm able to help recruit guys to come and and go out there and shoot their shot and hopefully get an opportunity.
So going back to the Hub City and Memphis Lions, uh
Yes, sir.
Hub City Cyclones, which I like the name. Love that name actually. The tell us, I guess, how you mentioned how many people will show up for tryouts and such. How do you, I guess, build that roster and keep that roster, together over the course of a season?
Uh, that's a tough question. That is a very tough question. Uh, there's two ladies that actually own the basketball team.
Yep.
Miss Ross and her sister, Miss Glover. So basically, and it's really all about communication and all about playing roles.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a portion that I cover is mostly on the court, and
Yep.
then they have a portion that they cover logistically, and keeping the team together. You have to really start with character. Start with identifying players. And me, I'm the type of coach, type of manager. I really just like to tell people, just be honest about things up front. Keeping the team together, it can be tough, but we have to have the mindset that this is minor league basketball. So if we are trying to progress and get better, and move on to the next level, then these are things, then I have things in place that we have to abide by. And that's coming to practice on time.
Hmm.
That's like dedicated to the team. That's maintaining great conduct on and off the court, and showing up to perform.
Mhm.
That's really it. I mean, that's really it with maintaining a basketball team, because this is minor league basketball, and a lot of things can take place in minor league basketball. Like anything, anything is possible in minor league basketball. So yeah, you really have to, some things you have to just let it. You have to sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
You have to you really have to sweat. You have to sweat the small things, and really just remain focused.
So you stress professionalism.
Basically,
Yeah.
yes.
So what's most the I guess the talent that's in the on Hub City and on the Memphis Lions? What's their I guess the average of their experience? Are they D2 guys, D3 guys? Uh,
I have a. They are. I have a few that have college experience.
okay,
Most of them are. Well, let's just back up here. I typically try to go with ages 21 and up.
okay, more
And
maturity.
yeah, and well, for one, when you're dealing with guys that's between 18 and 21, that's kind of undecided if they
Yeah,
want to go to college. I don't want to be of a burden to those guys.
yeah,
So about 21, 22, you typically have figured out, what you want to do uh, in the basketball world. So I don't want to be to where there's a eligibility issue with the NCAA clearinghouse or NIA. I don't want to have to be the reason why, that you played with me and now you're trying to go to college, and then there's stats and film on you, and then I don't want that to be of any conflict. So really, I'm looking out for those players.
yeah,
But trust me, there are a few that's probably 18, 19 that I would love to recruit, that I would love to develop. But the thing is, I don't. If they're undecided on whether or not they want to go to college or not, I typically kind of stay away from those guys.
yeah,
And typically, the older guys tend to be a little bit more mature mentally, a little bit more mature physically, and basketball wise, you know, a little bit more mature.
yeah. What's the because you coach? I guess is there any philosophies or play styles you prefer to play with? I get, or like you try to stress.
I really like more. We're more of a balanced team. I like to
Yeah,
be able to play up tempo basketball, and as well as be able to um, have a very potent offense in the half court if the game slows down. So
yeah,
really being so my style is really more well balanced. I have a heavy guard oriented team.
yeah,
So we do lots of pressing, lots of full court traps, lots of pressing. I really stress boxing out, and they would like to get out in transition and run. I have some great shooters. I have some great shooters really on both teams. I have some guys that can really fill it up from the outside. So that really plays into our style. I'm big on ball screens. I'm big on spacing. We run lots of different sets to get our shooters the ball. We run sets to definitely exploit mismatches
yeah,
on the court. So I'm really a tactical guy. Like I'm really good with X's and O's. I mean I used to sit in the mirror for 30 seconds time myself and practice drawing up plays. So I would say I'm really more of an X and O's type guy. I can draw diagram plays, diagram defenses, diagram little things to really help our team be successful. And
So
we practice these things as well. So
Yeah.
The things that I expect them to do in the game, these are things that we work on in practice. Like, for example, I'm real big on making a 3-point shot in the corner. So we have drills. We have drills throughout practice that really implement the success of those things in the game.
The this what work have you've mentioned it before. So when you work with USA Select, is there any type of like, I guess, program you have? I'm sure like there's some program you have to follow. What's the regimen like for USA Select?
Evaluation, a European evaluation tour. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for evaluation, European evaluation exposure camp. So
Hmm.
what happens is they may be the probably the only program that I've ever researched that we have 20 actual international coaches that are live in person
Yeah.
are there the whole Memorial Day weekend, and that was there Memorial Day weekend in Orlando at
Hmm.
ESPN studios, and they literally come in and they're looking to sign players because their season starts in September,
Yeah.
so they're looking to sign players literally on the spot. So basically, what my role is, of course, there's me and there's 3 other coaches. Andrea Stenson that played in WNBA, North Carolina Hall of Famer legend. She's one of the coaches, and there's some other coaches from around the country that's there. So we are the 4 coaches, and basically, we take them through a series of drills, a series of drills, which is like this is all day, and basically and then we split up and we play nothing but evaluation games for the next 3 days
Yeah.
from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. at night. And basically the international coaches, they come and they rotate around, and they rotate to each team, and basically they're taking notes, and so
Hmm.
they're able to give guys feedback um, throughout the day instead of waiting until when it's over. No, we like to give you your feedback on what we see and what we're looking for, and giving those guys the feedback on their strengths and weaknesses, so that they can improve themselves, or if they think they're good enough to be signed at the end of camp, then paperwork and that process can go ahead and be initiated.
So that's really all I have. Is there anything you'd want to add?
Oh, that's really it for me. That's really it for me. I appreciate the opportunity to come on here.
So I've been Hunter Way at the Athletes Lounge podcast, and that's all I got.
Hey guys, this is Hunter with the Athletes Lounge podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe where you can. Thanks.